influenced my life. John?
I think we're getting out from behind the podium for some reason or another.
Hi people, I'm going to talk about how amateur radio has changed my life and has influenced it. My speech goes. My name is Sean Moldauer and my call sign is Kilo Bravo 3 Kilo X-Ray Whiskey, KB3KXW. I'm in 7th grade and I go to Rosa Parks Middle School and I'm 14 years old. I live in Albany, Maryland, which is about 15 miles away from our nation's capital. I got interested in ham radio in February last year when my dad, N3AON, who's right there, told me that he had passed a test that would let him talk on a radio around the world. He told me if I earned my amateur radio license, I could get a radio like he had. Also, the people my dad talked to on the radio were so much nicer and friendlier than using instant messenger. So this was the motivation I needed, so I decided I would get my own amateur radio license. I studied more than I ever had before. I learned new things that other people in my school would have probably never think about. The things like CB radios and ham radios are different, and how radio waves can reflect off a solid object like buildings or mountains. And I also learned about using computers with amateur radio and how radio waves can. I also learned about how amateur radios provide emergency communications during disasters. During the winter, I studied and studied and studied like I never had before. On March 19th, 2004, I went to the Laurel Amateur Radio Club in Laurel, Maryland to take my test. When I was in the car before the test started, I was very nervous, just like I am here. I was very nervous, and I looked over the questions in the back of the book, and I tried to reassure myself that I could pass the test. Some of the questions in the book were very easy, but some were very hard, and that was just like at the test. All my studying paid off as I passed the test on my first try, and I received my test. And I received my technician's license on March 22nd, 2004. It was the biggest accomplishment in my life. A few weeks later, I went to my first ham fest in Timonium, Maryland. Since I liked computers and I had just become a ham, Timonium was really cool because it had lots of boats. I'll never forget my first ham fest because my dad gave me an HT as a reward. It was a VX seminar. I'll never forget that. I don't think I'll ever forget this place either because it's 20 times bigger than the ham fest in Timonium. In May last year, I learned about the Anne Arundel Radio Club Junior, Art Junior, while talking on one of the local repeaters. Art Junior is a radio club just for kids located near Annapolis, Maryland, which is our state capital. Almost everybody at Art Junior were hams there, even kids that were my age. 2 kids here having speakers in this form. Since I was a new ham, one of the old timers, Andrew, K3ASK, was, can't find him. Yeah, right there. Andrew has helped me learn to be comfortable while operating a radio station. He showed me how to use his radio, and then he let me operate the radio with him as my control operator. It's nice having a friend who likes to help other people, which makes Andrew a perfect Elmer. In June 2004, I participated in the Art Junior Field Day operation in Davidsonville, Maryland, which is about 40 miles away from my house. During the Art Junior Field Day, the kids and visitors had the priority as radio operators, and the adults serve as control operators. And once everybody has gone to sleep, that's when the adults only get to operate. Everybody tried to stay up late to make lots of contacts. My dad and I made contacts on 6 meters, and we took turns logging each other using the contact software, and we set up a logging software full of our stations. This year, I plan to spend a lot of time on HF, and I'm going to try this field day to make about 100 contacts. The Red Cross from Virginia sent their emergency communications vehicle to our field day site. It was the same vehicle that was here at Dayton last year. The vehicle is a emergency communications center with over a dozen radios, recorders, telescoping antennas, an onboard generator, and a video camera on top of the antenna. It's really cool. Many of our 90 field day guests visited this vehicle. It was really neat. And maybe next year we will be able to take some video pictures on top of the antenna, and maybe we can even take some contacts. I had a great time at field day, but on Sunday morning, my favorite part of field day was Mr. Bob's Pancakes, A3ARR, who is right there. What was so special about this event? Well, he makes pretty good pancakes. And I must have eaten a lot of them. And I didn't have to go to Sunday school, which was awesome too, so that's another thing. For those who are keeping score, only 35 more days till we go to Dayton, field day. I can't hardly wait. One of the things I like best about being in a radio club for kids is all the help that's available. With Andrew and the adult Elmers, I learned a lot about this hobby. I learned how to use the logging software, and I learned how to participate in several contacts. And I learned how to solder, and I even built a 4-band receiver, which actually worked. Amateur radio is a great hobby, but combining it with other kids makes it even better. It has improved my self-confidence by challenging me to learn things that I was never considering doing before. There are so many different fun activities, such as kit building, contests, public services, and to participate. And of course, I met a lot of nice people on and off the air. Nobody has ever been mean or negative to me, and they even talk to me when I'm a kid. My favorite event is still Mr. Bob's Pancakes, in addition, besides to be a lot of fun. Ham radio will be my hobby forever. I want to thank Ms. Carroll for inviting me to speak to you today. I also want to thank the Dayton Amateur Radio Association for letting us have this forum. I also want to thank my dad and mom for their encouragement as well. And I also want to thank my friends at Art Junior and the orange t-shirts. Those are a lot of people right there. and I hope I get to have a QSO with you in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, John. By the way, the Simonian Hamfest or Flea Fest, whatever, is actually rather nice. A number of years ago, when my call sign was WA3BXN, I'm originally from north central Pennsylvania, I was down there, and I still have in my basement a gray Hallicrafter thing with, what is it, tubes? That works quite nicely.